Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and this is the updated 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid in the Top SX Prestige trim. This is the best-selling and longest-running nameplate in Kia's history, so it is a very important vehicle for the future of the brand. And being a hybrid, it represents 25% of those Sportage sales moving into the future. What is this like? Well, we are here in Louisville, Kentucky to find out just that. Before we get too far into this one, Gearheads, I want to ask a big favor of you. We are so close to 50,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you are notified when future videos drop from us. First things first, Gearheads, I do want to say a huge thank you to Kia for flying me out to Louisville, Kentucky to get to sample this for the first time. These are actually just now hitting dealer lots, so you can grab one for yourself as soon as you're done watching this video. But yes, I did want to say a huge thank you to Kia for flying me out here to test drive their top-selling model. Now, this being the 2026, a lot of what we're going to be talking about is cosmetic, but as per usual, since we are up front here, I do want to talk about what motivates the Sportage moving forward. There are three different powertrain configurations. You have the fully ICE internal combustion engine variant, you get this, the hybrid variant, and there is a plug-in hybrid variant. The big news for 2026 is we did get increased power. We have 232 horsepower here on this hybrid model, which is an increase of 5, and the plug-in hybrid actually gets an increase of 7. So they've reworked and redone some of the internals on this entire hybrid system to make it potentially more fuel efficient. We don't have official EPA numbers as of me talking to you here on camera right now, but they are aiming for record fuel efficiency and power. And we'll talk a little bit more about how it actually performs here on the road in just a little bit when we're behind the wheel. But closing the hood, first thing I've got to call out this new Heritage Blue, designed specifically for the hybrid. This is a very good telltale sign that you do have the hybrid model, the Heritage Blue. I love it. Blue's my favorite color, if you can't tell by me today. And yes, it absolutely works. But the biggest news is the new face. We have that amber running light, the star map lighting that they've been talking about on their other vehicles. It has finally made its way here to the Sportage. You remember the other models had a white boomerang style light here. It kind of had an alien-like design. This brings the Sportage in line with the rest of the SUVs in the lineup. We see Sorento got that facelift. Even Carnival, their 3-row people mover, got this new face, enhancing the width of the visuals with this tall light here on the side. And then this very squared off rectangular grille here, also just kind of emphasizing the overall size of this vehicle. I think it works very well. You can see we have a multi-lens array lights here, a stacked fog light configuration, all the way around. Very clean look here for 2026. As we pull across the front and take a look at the new face of the best-selling Kia model, I really do love the overall updates that they brought here, both inside and out. Again, the front grille is going to be the most obvious sign that you have a 2026 model. Gone are those boomerang lights. Here are the star map lighting, but it is a very clean look. If you'll remember, I actually covered this car already. They unveiled it last fall at the LA Auto Show. And yes, now today I am getting to drive it. But we will save that for a later discussion. As we come down to wheels and tires, you can see on our top trim here, I love that Kia is taking design risks. We have a 4-spoke wheel with a square hub there in the middle. It is just a very clean, very interesting look. You can see these 19-inch wheels are actually wrapped in Hankook Dynapro HP2 tires, and they are 235/55 R19. We'll again talk about that as we get inside and behind the wheel. As we move around to the profile, not a whole lot has changed. The wheel design has changed, the small cosmetic reworkings to a few small elements, but really nothing major is different on the profile. It's not till you come back around to the rear of the vehicle that you start seeing that star map lighting. So the rear taillights and the rear bumper have been revised here on the back of the Kia Sportage. The star map lighting is the biggest, most obvious sign. So you've got this kind of angular look to it, which again, echoes and repeats from up front. I think it works quite well. We've got that Kia Sportage badge with the new corporate font for all of their vehicle names. But then we have an electronic opening rear hatch. I don't necessarily love the place of that electronic latch handle because it will get covered in road grime being that low on the bumper, but it does give you a clean overall look of the back of the vehicle. When you open it up, tons of cargo space in here. Absolute massive cargo space for this class. And if you need more, Kia does give you a couple handles back here to fold down the 60/40 reclining split folding back seat. So very configurable, very comfortable inside and out. And then while we're talking about comfort and convenience, move my backpack out of the way there, but we do have a false load floor here underneath. You can see we have a Kumo temporary spare tire, but I will show you this right here. So we've got a few inches of extra clearance that we can access by pulling this shelf out and dropping it down. It actually, my backpack is not cooperating with me, but will actually slide down and give you a little bit more vertical height for storing more items in here, taller items back here. Now, when you fold these back seats down, however, you aren't going to have a smooth transition between the two. You're going to have a bump up to the seat back, which is one reason why you may enjoy having this in its taller position. Another reason you may enjoy having it down is when you open that hatch, nothing's going to roll out here. We do have some hidden storage here on the side, which I think works very well as well. Then we can lift that up and slide it back into place. Very nice. You can see max load weighting rating back here. What do we got? 180 pounds for riding back here when you're loading it down with gear. And then you have the option of a handle, or since we have a power operated hatch, the button to close this rear hatch back here. You also have the option of using Kia's smart key system, which just means you get to stand back here and have the key on your person and it'll realize, beep at you and open up. Before we climb in this one, I did want to talk about the key. It is Kia's new corporate key. It is their detonator style 2.0. So lock is there on the side, but all of your buttons are around the side, including your remote start, which you just hold like this. Now, given that this is a hybrid, the engine won't start up. Let's say lock, then hold button. Given that this is a hybrid, the engine won't start up, but it does flash to let me know, hey, it's on. And then we have the remote smart parking. So you can hold these buttons right here. The wheels actually go to straighten up. Let me do it with not covering the camera. The wheels straighten up and then the vehicle will start to move. So if you are in a tight parking space, this is a great way to get out of said parking space without dinging up your car or the car next to you. So that's really cool. You can actually back it up as well. It'll move up to a full car length, which is nice. Given that this is in hybrid mode right now, you can hear it singing, which is a federally mandated sound when there is not a gasoline engine running. So that is very nice. Another thing I really like about the key, it's a proximity key with passive entry. So you can get in just by grabbing the door handles and pulling it. And one thing Kia does really well is when you remote start a vehicle with their passive entry and all of that jazz, you just need to sit inside the vehicle and it will turn on. The vehicle is actually on now. I don't have to repress and tell it that, hey, I'm inside, ready to drive by pushing this button. It's already on, it already knows it, so I can just put it in gear and go if I wanted to, which is very nice. Let's start here on the door. We do have the misty gray interior with our heritage blue. I think the color contrast works very well. You can see two-person memory here, all power windows, but express up down on the fronts. Electronic window lockout. We do have some storage down here. Harman Kardon speaker. And then we've noted on our drive today, there is not a lot of contrast over here on these buttons, but quick access buttons, your brightness, traction control, 12-volt battery reset. I'm gonna have to look into that one a little bit further. And then your hatch release button right there, electronic parking brake, and then all your typical steering wheel controls that you would expect on a Kia. You can page through different information on the 12.3-inch screen back there. All your ADAS, your lane centering here, different drive modes. So we have Eco, Sport, and My, and we've been in Eco most of the day. And then we have terrain modes, snow, mud, and sand. So you have multiple different modes that you can drive in, and they do override one another. So you can see down there exactly what they're displayed as. Now, we currently have it turned off, but there is a head-up display in this one as well. We'll go ahead and zoom in, and yes, we have a head-up display. You can see we have traffic sign recognition, all of which works very well. So even though this 12.3-inch screen is very clear and easy to read, I'm not looking at it all that much because I do have my head-up display just right there in my eye line. Looking up here, we have a self-dimming rearview mirror. There's no flicker thing here for a manual dimming or anything like that. Moving down even further, we have 12.3-inch display screen here, and Kia does pride themselves on their connection to the NBA. They're a league sponsor. You can actually download skins for these two screens that represent your favorite NBA team, which is really cool. One screen I am not a fan of is this dual function screen here. You can see you can toggle between volume and tuning, or your two-way, two-zone climate control here. So we do have two-zone automatic climate control up front, but you had to toggle between here. You can use voice controls, you can use steering wheel controls. I don't love this. They have reworked some of the interior to clean it up a little bit. This is something that we're seeing going away. The K4 doesn't have it, the K4 hatch, the EV4, the EV9, all of which do not have this. They have a little auxiliary screen in between these two screens here. So just something to note. Perhaps the only downside to this vehicle, in my opinions, is that we do have a fairly nice sized glove box here. It is damped, and we'll go ahead and pull out the window sticker here to show you 41,985 as equipped, and fuel economy basically 35 across the board. So I guess it is technically EPA rated if we've already got it on the steering wheel. Looking down at our center console here, we have as textured material, which I really like. You can see we do have the shade that covers our Qi wireless charger. We do have USB inputs, which is nice. Our engine start button, our dial for reverse and drive, neutral, park, all that good stuff. Park is the button right here. Quick access heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated front seats. They don't stay on when you cycle a vehicle on and off. Something I wish the Kia brand would change. Quick access button for your 360 cameras, and Kia does 360 cameras very well. The compute power that goes into being able to pan around a version of my vehicle like that is quite impressive. And then a lot of storage here. You can see we've got felt lined bottom to the center console, which is of decent size, and then these disappearing cup holders. So if you don't need the cup holders, you can just rotate these out of the way. But if you do need a cup holder, you just hit that button and boom, you have a place to put your drink. You can see it also has grippers for smaller or odd shaped items that go in there, all of which work very nicely. Another small critique I have here, we do have the massive panoramic glass sunroof, but you have to be very careful with that single switch. If you pull back on it too hard, the glass will open as well. You can see very large opening glass front pane right here, very large glass opening pane. And the same is true when you close it. You have to be careful just how far you pull it. Coming to me, plenty of headroom, very comfortable in here. Now let's check out the class leading second row legroom and some of the luxurious amenities back there in the second row. Coming back to the back doors, these are not passive entry, so we don't have that unlock feature. You will have to grab that front door handle to unlock the back doors if you are needing to load a kid back here. But you can see just how much space we have. I guess I could go ahead and fold this up. It actually locks into place when you fold it down, like I showed you earlier, from the cargo area. So you have to actually use the recline handle to get it out of that locked in place situation. No built-in sunshades here on the back windows, but we do have 3-stage heat for the outboard seats, which is very nice. This is synthetic leather. They're SynTex seating. We have some suede uppers here. We saw that on the front seats. I just didn't point it out. Very nice. 3 across seating back here, exposed lower latches, very easy to get to for child seats. I'm going to leave this in its upright position to show you here in just a moment what that's like. We do have a center tunnel here for all-wheel drive models, getting power to those rear wheels. I do like how we have massive air vents on the back of the center console, even if we don't have controls for those. We do get USB-C ports on the backs of both front seats and a place to wind your cable if you're not using it. Mat pockets on the backs of both seats, a little bit of storage here, all of which works very nicely. Fold down center armrest on the back seat, but then coming to me, yeah, this is sitting upright. This is not comfortable. This is not how I would ride back here, but they actually do recline a fair bit, give me a good view out of the roof, give me a good view here in front of me. I am very comfortable back here, and I have plenty of legroom. I'm very impressed with just how much space is back here. They do say class leading second row space and legroom, and I absolutely believe it back here. Very comfortable, but let's hop behind the wheel, see how this thing drives with my drive partner today, Andy Lilienthal. All right, gearheads, moving inside, I have Andy Lilienthal with me from Crankshaft Culture. We've done several podcasts together. I've known you and your wife, Mercedes, online for many years now, and it's been great through this business, through this industry, actually getting to know you personally. And we've had a great day conversing, talking cars today. But the car I want to talk about most,
the one we're in.
Yes, 2026 Sportage. So there is a lot of new tech in here for modern convenience and luxuries. I already showed everything off with the screens. But the driving of this is the hybrid model. They told us in the press briefing this morning that they expect it to exceed 25% of all Sportages sold. The Sportage is a bestseller. So this is a very important vehicle for them.
Yes.
I want to pick your brain a little bit. You pushed it a little bit harder. You put it in sport mode. You were having some fun driving it around. What are your thoughts on this hybrid powertrain?
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. We've had the air conditioning on, so that's going to sap a little bit of power. But the mid-range power seems to be pretty good. You can feel the hybrid assist under acceleration. And then when you let off the throttle, you can feel a little bit of that regenerative braking. I think the chassis itself is actually pretty willing. Pretty decent sized tires, although I believe they are maybe a low rolling resistance, so they're not going to be exactly stickies.
Got to hit that 35 mpg.
Got to do it. Got to do it. And so, but when you put it in sport mode, it feels like the steering wheel may tighten up a little bit, but the throttle response is good. It's actually pretty entertaining to drive for what Kia calls a subcompact crossover.
Yeah, I'm not buying the subcompact thing. This thing is so massive inside. Like, it puts even RAV4 to shame, which Toyota calls a compact.
Compact, yeah. As Seltos, I get it. Yeah, I get that. And that kind of is in that Chevrolet Trailblazer sized vehicle. But this is definitely, to me, a compact.
Yeah, which a compact SUV is actually a mid-sized car when you're talking interior room. So it kind of muddies the water. But,
it does.
I am very impressed with just how much space I get in here. And again, so my experience driving this, I was a little lighter on the throttle on this. We're going through some change of elevation. We're in the mountain areas, outskirts, and I am impressed. We got 38 mpg on the first leg of this trip.
Wow.
So that is better than the 35 combined on the Windows sticker that I found in the glove box.
Nice.
So very impressive from a vehicle, from a chassis that when pushed, you said is not all that terrible. This is what I call a speed date, so I don't have my 0 to 60 timer or anything like that. But I mean, it's smooth, effortless power to get you off and going. This actually has a 6-speed stepped automatic, so no CVT, which we see in a lot of the hybrid competition to this. And like, it does good things. When you put it in sport mode, you've got flappy paddles that Did we determine, does it hold the gears or does it say, I know better?
If they don't work at all unless you put it in sport mode. At least if they do, I wasn't doing something right. And then the response isn't super fast from them, but once you kind of find out the timing and the groove, you can kind of shift gears and drive it in a more sporty mode for sure.
I mean, for a vehicle called the Sportage, it needs to have a little bit of oomph to it. It can't be completely gutless.
Right.
Which I do believe, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I really like this 1.6 turbo hybrid powertrain that Kia has come up with. It is the more potent powertrain option. It's not the most potent, it's mid-grade, but I like it better than the ICE, the internal combustion. It's just got the pep that you would expect, but the plug-in hybrid variant has even more power than this and gains 7 horsepower over the outgoing model, and in theory is more fuel efficient because you've got a few miles of all-electric range.
Right.
But yeah, driving this around, we've done a mix. We started off in downtown Louisville and city driving just fine. The transmission is non-existent. It's like it's not even there. It's butter smooth. And then like when you push it, I'm in eco mode right now. Like there was a little bit of a lag, but like it gets you up and going. Quick push of the button right there. Now I'm in sport mode. That's still a little bit of a lag, but I'm going 70 plus right now. And all the way around, it's a good powertrain. And
I agree.
I've been impressed with it. Now, you and I, we've traded off riding in that seat over there. What has it been like carving corners, body roll? Because you notice it so much more as a passenger than the driver because you're leaning into it as the driver. But what's been your experience in the passenger seat as we've done some windy roads?
Yeah, I don't find excessive body roll at all, and so it does put the sport in Sportage for sure. But I mean, this is a crossover, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't supposed to be some hot, on-road focused track themed vehicle. It is a compact crossover, but for what it is, I feel like it's fairly entertaining. I've driven some of the competition, also with turbo motors, CVTs, and I feel like this is a pretty well-rounded package overall. The hybrid really does add a little bit of pep to it, and really does add that instant acceleration that you can expect from electric motors.
Yeah. And then, of course, we've got all-wheel drive on this one. You've mentioned the tires, most likely low rolling resistance. I haven't heard a lot of tire noise, but we've noted a little bit of wind noise coming from this region, the windshield region.
It was a little breezy on the interstate, and we were doing the speed limit, and which was around 70. And I definitely noticed some wind noise. It wasn't intrusive, and especially seeing that the trees were moving around, there was some wind. So yeah,
it's quite calm and quiet in here. I've got no complaints. Visibility's good. I've got good mirrors all the way around. Don't even really need a rear view camera mirror set up here because the view out the back is so good, even with headrests in place. Load it down with people and stuff, that changes a little bit. And then view over my shoulders, also very good. But in the event that it is not, we have the blind view camera system. When I put on a blinker, I get a display of what is in my blind spot on said side of the vehicle. So, I mean, checkbox after checkbox after checkbox of just solid entry into the hottest segment in the business for consumers. There's a reason why this is the all-time best-selling Kia, because it is the vehicle size class that everyone wants, and then they're just doing it all so well. Heated and ventilated front seats, heated back seats, reclining back seats, panorama roof, digital gauges, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. What else? It'll park itself.
It'll do it. I'm just enjoying these cooled seats, so that's a fantastic thing as it's fairly warm and humid here.
I've just, all the way around, I've been impressed with this platform, the powertrain, the ride. Yeah, you mentioned from the passenger seat over there, very planted feeling. It doesn't feel floaty by any means.
No.
But it's also not rough. So you get into the rough stuff and it's not beating you up. Just all the way around, a really good, solid entry into a class of vehicle that all of y'all seem to be shopping and going after. I really do think, I've not sampled the plug-in hybrid. I think this is the one to get. I don't know that you're gaining too much from paying for the extra complexity of the plug-in hybrid unless you're doing a ton of in-city errands, commutes, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think this will probably be their volume vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, the 2.5 naturally aspirated one, I'm sure, you know, that LX front wheel drive is going to be a very great price point, but I think this is the model that they're probably going to sell the most of.
Yeah, they teased that this is the top trim that everybody wants because it is selling quite well for them, this SX Prestige. And then, you know, it's got nice amenities to boot. So very pleasant experience all the way around. And I've truly enjoyed it. Huge thanks to Kia for inviting us out to Louisville for this. You can go check out Andy's coverage on this and everything else that he does over at Crankshaft Culture. He also does some freelance writing. So
yeah, this will be for Gear Junkie for me, so you can see my stuff over there.
And then, as always, hit the subscribe button down below, ring the bell so you are notified when future videos drop from us. Find me on all social media platforms at GT Garage Talk, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, everything, YouTube, even at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for Andy and I, in the 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid SX Prestige, until next time, gearheads, bye. Sweet, and I was supposed to turn somewhere. Oh well.
No, you're on it.
No, it wanted me to go down Cedar Grove. As far as missed turns go, that was a painless one.
Yes, indeed.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, of course.
It feels so good to be done.